Good evening. Dr. Martin Luther King, the apostle of nonviolence in the civil rights movement, has been shot to death in Memphis, Tennessee. Police have issued an all-points bulletin for a well-dressed young white man seen running from the scene.
On April 4th, 1968, MLK was assassinated in Memphis, Tennessee, an event that shocked the black community and the country as a whole. MLK, a Baptist minister and founder of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, King led the civil rights movement for blacks across the world, using compelling speeches and nonviolent protests to fight segregation. In one of King's speeches, he shared his opinions on segregation by stating segregation is the adultery of an illicit intercourse between injustice and immortality. In the spring of 1968, while preparing for a planned march to Washington, on behalf of the poor, MLK and other SLC members were called to Memphis, Tennessee to support a sanitation worker strike. On the night of April 3rd, within Memphis, Tennessee, King gave a speech to strike a particular reflective note. I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land, and I'm happy tonight. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man. Just after 6 p.m. the following day, King was standing on the second floor balcony of the Lorient Motel, where he and his associates met when a sniper bullet struck him in the neck. He was rushed to St. Joseph's Hospital, where he was pronounced dead about an hour later at approximately 7:05 p.m. MLK was killed at the age of 39 with a single sniper shot into his neck. It wasn't until June 8, 1968, when James Earl Ray, a 40-year-old escaped fugitive, was reviewed as a suspect. His fingerprints were all over the gun. He had no alibi.
All evidence pointed towards James Earl. James Earl Ray confessed to the crime on March 10, 1969, which led him to be sentenced to a 100-year jail sentence. It is said that James Earl Ray was in the second-floor basement of a boarding house across the street from the motel where MLK was. The gun he used was a Remington Model 760 Game Master rifle. However, there is some evidence that James Earl Ray was framed for the assassination. After Ray announced that he did the crime, he stated that he did not do the crime and that he was innocent. He portrays a man named Raul who framed him. The FBI further investigated this and found no evidence that Raul existed.
He was a long-time racist. It's pretty simple. Ever since, going all the way back to World War II, he had admired Adolf Hitler.
King's assassination led to an outpouring of anger among African Americans. His death created a period of national mourning, which helped create an equal housing bill. Many moderate African American activists became more radicalized due to the killing of a prominent black figure such as King or Malcolm X, and groups like the Black Panther Party became increasingly more popular. The biggest response to MLK's assassination were the King assassination riots, which were a series of civil unrest throughout the nation that occurred due to MLK's death. The day after his death, unrest in Baltimore came into motion, but tensions had been building beforehand due to frustrations in the black community. The riot resulted in more than 4,000 arrests, and over 1,000 businesses had been looted or burnt. $13.5 million in damages were sustained in the city. Riots in places such as Baltimore, Washington, D.C., Chicago, and 100 more cities across the country. It resulted in over 40 deaths, 2,500 injuries, and 15,000 arrested. These tensions show the true impact of King's legacy and assassination.
If we're just talking on a very basic scale, it impacted people's hope because King represented for most black people all things good.